everyone. Welcome back to Bloom Through Faith. My name is Diamond. I'm so happy to have you here on my channel again, or if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am coming back from a short hiatus. I was not making videos for a couple of months because I was actually traveling to like Mexico, Hawaii, and just really enjoying my life. And so now I'm in a place where I'm a little bit more settled, and so I feel that inkling to just start making videos again. So here I am. So today I wanted to discuss authors and author work. I have a love and a passion for authors. They have my heart. And how I really see and envisions authors to be is a way to really ground what we're working on in the energetic into the physical, and vice versa. So if I'm working on self-love, then maybe I want to have like a physical offering of what that looks like for me, and the things and the objects and the sacred items that really called to my heart that I want to have maybe on a physical table or on a desk or on a mantle in my home or even on top of a drawer, right? Like it doesn't have to be, or a nightstand. It doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have one specific look, right? Um, so that's just one example, right? So if I'm working with self-love, maybe I want to have a mirror. Maybe I want to have things that make me feel love. It reminds me of the love that I am. Maybe I want to have some beauty products that I really, really enjoy. Maybe I want to have my favorite scented candle, or my favorite like butter, body butter, or my favorite perfume or essential oil, or even roses or flowers. Um, yeah, it really depends. But to me, altars are offerings. They are offerings to the land. They are offerings to myself, to my heart, and they are offerings to even what I'm becoming, right? So what I want to bring even deeper into the world, what I want to deepen into. So right behind me, I actually have my ancestor altars, and on my altars, I typically have roses or flowers, excuse me. I also work with the elements. So I work with the north, the south, the east, and west, and all of those have very sacred meanings for me and to me. And I have physical objects on my altars that represent the elements. I also have photographs of some of my ancestors who some of my family members who are now ancestors. They transitioned last year, um, or transitioned years ago, and this is my way of one of the ways that I connect is through altar work with my ancestors. And it's also the way that I receive a lot of wisdom and guidance and learn more about who they are, and who they were, and their stories and their passions and their gifts. And it's just a way for me to slow down and really build, nourish, and cultivate a more refined relationship with them. I also have money on the altar and incense, and I have a food. I have food here on the altar for them. Also have water. I work with sound a lot, so usually there's like a bell, or there's some type of it's another trinket, some type of sound that I also work with close to my altar. On my altar behind me, I also have a drum. Um, yeah, I have agua de flor, So, Florida water. I have my grandmother's jewelry box. I have sprays that I love using, rose water, and different holy waters that are infused with flower essences and essential oils. Um, yeah, just a lot of different things. Shells, different sacred items from Hawaii that I picked up on my travels. So, yeah, it's beautiful, and for me, I love physically making them. I love having them on the table, but altars can also be digital, right? Like even our profiles that we have, social media profiles or our websites, those also are digital altars, right? Because they're offerings that we are sharing with the world, and it tells a story. It tells our story. And yeah, for me, altars is just a really, in its purest form, connection, and it's reciprocity, and it's interdependence, and it's a way to really get out of the mind and get out and get more into the body and into the heart, and a place to really like share, right? Share with our guides. We believe in, having guides and angels and our own soul, our own selves, and God and Source, what share what we are going through and what we're experiencing and what we want to ground more into the earth, and even what we're working on. And also, I spend a lot of time at my altar in gratitude, just in absolute awe of this life and of being able to wake up, each morning, and to be able to experience the beauty of life. I think altars also can depict birth and rebirth, as well as death and transition and deep rest. To me, they also have seasons, right? Like it's a process that we continually feed, and we continually tune into, and we check into, right? But there may also be times when it feels more quieter at our altars, or it's more of like there's more excitement, there's more movement, there's more um, enlivenment, right? So, yeah. So, I have a little list of things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so I touched on what and why. And for me, why have an altar? Again, it's just really to cultivate and nourish other aspects of myself, and also what I'm calling in, right? Because I am a plant medicine woman. I'm also a nature mystic and nature channel. I'm really in tune with the earth and the plant spirits, and a lot of that, it flows through intuition and just through sensations in my bodies and dreams. And I also do energy work, and I work a lot with the energies of the earth and of the cosmos, and um, yeah, like sorry, like froze there, but energy work and working with the land and land healing. So for me, I've also had altars that had to do with land healing, right? So I have traveled to different places, and even sometimes places that I've lived, where I can feel energetically that something has happened in the space, right? Maybe not necessarily in the home per se, or in the specific building that maybe I'm living in, but the land itself. Something possibly happened on the land itself, whether it was violence, or the way that the land was stored, it um, was disruptive. If the soil itself needs regeneration, if the land in the past were war sites, or atrocities happened, or if a lot of like people passed away due to drug overdoses, or whatever it might be, or people are working through energetic and familial imprints. Sometimes the land will show me what support it needs, right? And so then I will also build a physical altar to ground um, the energies needed, right? To come through as like a portal. So even sometimes altars can be portals. Um, and that can look like, if a space needs more TLC, if it needs more love, if it's asking for more compassion and mercy and liberation and freedom, um, those templates can be infused and can um, actually ground into the physical altar that's made as a portal from of you know as above so below. So there's so many beautiful ways. There's so many beautiful ways to cultivate a relationship with this work. I recently also did a home clearing. My family and I, my mom and my siblings, and are moving to a new house. And to me, it's really important that as we close out a chapter at the current house, as we close out our chapter of being here, and we're stepping into this new phase, um, this new opportunity, that the home itself is asked what it needs and what it wants, and also we're coming from like I'm coming from a place, and the family's coming from a place of like, this is a collaboration. We're not just coming here and just living here and not paying respects or showing gratitude. No, we're actually going, like I actually did a clearing, and there will also be an altar there, because to me it is a collaboration with the land there, the land spirits there, and the physical home, and the energetics of the home, right? That like, as we live in the house, the home nourishes us, and we give back by nourishing it. And as a result, we learn how to nourish ourselves in an even greater sense, right? It's not just a place of like, oh, I'm just gonna live here and just like um, not take care of it, not get the monthly or yearly like uh, check, like wellness of the house, or just notice what needs to be done, around the house. But that actually I am listening and observing of what's actually happening in the space, what actually needs to be fixed, like if there's maintenance that needs to be done within like the physical space, or outside of the home, right? So I think altars also allow us to really tune into what's happening, and to be able to really listen and witness and observe um, in regards to whatever it is that whatever our intention is for the specific altar that we're working with in any given moment. So I will touch a little more deeper into when I mentioned that I work with the elements. So I have some notes. And this is from the book Get Rooted. I will have to find the author again, but that book was so beautiful. It's really good book on life and empowerment and family and ancestral liberation and curanderismo and curanderas and deals, and just like healing and herbs. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And so I just want to share a little bit more about the 5 directions. So specifically, I'll start with the east. The east for me represents the air. So I often have feathers or animals or elements that remind me of the air. Um, so the east is the land of new beginnings, of dreams, of possibilities. And so there, I often call in the courage and faith. Like courage and faith is often what I call in there, and really grounding into and rooting into embodiment and miracles and um, being resourced and yeah. So new beginnings for the east, new beginnings, new possibilities. It reminds me of spring, of just like opening ourselves up, a fresh slate. And then I moved to the west, and to me, the west represents water. Being able of purification, of letting go, of movement, of flow, the space of in the direction of release and choosing to release the things that are no longer aligned or no longer like um, feel relevant and true for where we are on the path, right? So in that direction, it really asks of me from just experience of really showing up in my truth and to really get clear on, is this thing or this person or this situation really working? Is this really loving for myself right now? So yeah, for the west is the direction of death and rebirth. I think also water also helps us, for me specifically, notice where my imbalances are and where certain dynamics just aren't um, aligned any longer. So that's where I have the water. And then in the north, it's the place of the ancestors. So that's where I have um, my ancestors' ashes, and I have things that represent them and some of the herbs that I feel um, called to when I work with them. So that is the direction of the ancestors. Also, the element of earth. And so that's the direction where I find that I'm able to tune into more of my lineage and healers and the medicine people that, are in my ancestry. And also, I feel like with having a physical altar, it's not just about um, the loved ones who we knew in this lifetime, like in the physical body. It's also people who we like, who are a part of our ancestral line that we didn't meet because we just weren't born yet. And also, for me, it's also being able to tune in to those that will be nieces and nephews for me, and that will be also future descendants. So the north also just for me really represents the presence of life and believing in oneself. And the next direction is the south, the direction of willpower and children. So I find that that is a direction where I really am able to tune in and reclaim my sacred play and laughter and joy, and allowing joy to be a sacred teacher, and reclaiming my connection to my younger versions of myself and my heart. So that's how I work with the 4 elements. And then in the south, the direction of willpower, and children, that element is fire. So, yeah, I typically have the four directions on every altar that I am stewarding, but really your altar can look however you intuitively feel called for it to look like. Um, it's really about the characteristics that you feel drawn to and that you really want to step and deepen into, and also about what you feel in your heart and intuitively, right? Because if you're working with one that's going to be a home altar compared to one that may be one for self-love, or one that may be for ancestors, or one that just may be devoted to your connection to nature, or maybe sometimes I've seen people even create an altar for a new position that they recently are stepping into, or that they recently got the um what is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but basically like they have the job. And building an altar around that and around the energies that the person wants to invoke and wants to bring more like into their reality, into life. Um, and then also, I feel like there's altars that are for dreaming, right? And what I mean by that is that you may not physically see yet what you want in your in like physical world and what you see, but it's like you're dreaming it up, you know? It's something that you know that you feel passionate about and that you want. And you're stepping into the energy just by the intentions, just by the belief, just by visualization and feeling and invoking powerful emotions as you're creating that altar. So I think that's all I wanted to share in this first video. Um, Thank you for whoever finds this video and who listens. I hope this information was informative and educational. And if you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the my comments below, and I will answer. I will also try to include some of the altars that I've created in like this year and previously in past years, because they all look very different. They all have their own unique energy, unique vibration, special like their touch. Um, and I think that's also the beauty of altars too. It represents who you are and what you are calling in, and it shows what you're passionate about and what you're collaborating with in that specific time of your life. So it's also, in a way, its own memory, its own timestamp of of life, of your life. So there's so much beauty there, so much beauty there. And I do want you all to know that I offer one-on-one consultations as well, and cultivation of altars. So if you don't really know where to begin, or you don't know maybe where to get certain items, um, or if you just want help, or assistance talking through and imagining what what's possible, right? You can contact me at my business email, which is illumined.alchemy@gmail.com. So it's ILLUMINED dot alchemy, ALCHEMY @gmail.com. And just send me any questions, or if you want to have a one-on-one video consultation, that also works. Just email me to inquire. I look forward to speaking to you all and seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.